How to overcome anxiety and overthinking. So, today we're going to talk about three ways to stop overthinking. The first one is meditation, the second one is the body and mind connection, and the third one is writing, using writing to overcome overthinking. My name is Sveta. I'm very good at being happy. I ran away from the horrible Belarusian government, and now I'm a refugee in Poland, and I'm doing very well, being very happy, adjusting pretty great, only 7 or 8 months here. So I wanted to share my happiness tricks with you. I don't give any generic information. Everything that I give is science-based. So today we are tackling overthinking. So before we get into our hacks, we have to understand that 46% of our time, of our mind's work, is spent wandering, going back to the past and looking into the future. So our mind, when we're not focused, laser focused on a task, goes into a pilot mode. And that default autopilot mode is just thoughts. Literally, the autopilot mode thoughts that are automatic, most of the time negative, most of the time repetitive, they are not going to be genius, productive, breakthrough, $1 million, bringing thoughts. They're just going to be your brain doing something when it's in default mode. And that is a feature of only humans. Only humans do that. Like, you see pets, if you have pets around the house, or if you go and observe animals, you will see that most of the time they're chilling or sleeping or resting. If they're not focused on a task, if they're not bothered by anything, they're in this rest mode, and their brain, they're not sitting there like, how did this bitch look at me when I went for a walk, or I should have said this, or what am I going to do tomorrow when when I see this cat next time. They're not going to think about that, because that is only a human feature. So it is absolutely normal to go into this autopilot mode and overthink all of the time. If you don't know about this feature, if you've never tried it and you're exhausted from it, if it becomes a problem, if you cannot relax, then you definitely need to take advantage of what science says can stop our incessant thoughts. And number one is meditation. I know everybody knows about this and everybody heard about this, and it's kind of boring to hear, because you're meditating, you're not thinking about anything. But the problem is that people know about this, but they don't actually do it. And I want to help you hack your way into meditation, because for me, sitting, like, even physically, I have problems with my back. I cannot sit down in the poses that, religious meditation makes you sit down into. That's not for me. So I had to come up with my own ways to do this. And one of the ways was, for me, was walking. And when I walk, like, I'll go for a walk, or I can even walk around the house. I put on my favorite music, or I put on some type of meditation music, like, something super relaxing. And I want to walk around, and I make sure that I just walk around and listen to the music. If I'm going without music, I'm focusing on my surroundings. I will see so many things for the first time, because usually I'm preoccupied in my default mode about what that B said about me, and what I'm going to do tomorrow when my task is due, and things like that. What I'm going to buy in the next store. Usually it's the next thing. Like, usually the brain is like, while you're washing the dishes, you're like, oh, next I'm going to do laundry. It's like weird, right? Why would you think about that? But that's just how our brain works. So going for a walk, absolutely. If you focus on what's around you, what you hear, what you see, that's meditation. If you turn on your favorite song and jam out, did you think about something during the time that you're jamming out? No. If you are lost in this process, obviously it's not completely free of thought. It's just not the thoughts, that the incessant thoughts that you have. But the trick here is not doing these activities, because obviously you can't listen to your favorite song all the time, or you can't be on this meditative walk all the time. The thing is to catch that state that you have of emptiness, nothingness, nirvana. Different people call it different things. Basically, absence of active thought. Catch it and hold it. Basically, that's what meditation is, because when you have pauses in between your thoughts, extending the pause is meditation. That's what it is. That's the only thing that there is. So, other tricks I can give you is thinking of a thought like, I love humanity, I want peace on earth, something like that. Something, it has to be something positive. And just repeat it and repeat it and repeat it. But then again, if it's just mechanical repetition, it's not going to help you long term. Long term, you need to catch that thing when you're going to feel it like a ringing of peace inside your body. Like, that's the only way I can describe it. Like, it's a physical sensation of just vibrating with peace. Like, it's like vibrating with nothing. I know it doesn't make any sense, because if it's nothing, you can't feel it, but you do feel it, because our default mode is so anxious and so automatic and robotic that when you actually let go, like, you look younger. You're like, you see, like, my shoulders were so flexed. Everything relaxes. So when you catch that feeling, extend it for as long as you can, and then mindfully watch yourself and see when you're getting back to your old ways. And then you're like, oh, I'm doing it again. The automatic negative thoughts. Let me do the thing. Let me do whatever activity puts you into that position. Find that vibration of nothing and keep it. So that's number one. Number two is taking care of your body. If you're not drinking, if you're not eating the right things, you will be unhappy. You will have repetitive negative thoughts. You will have anxiety. Obviously, we're not talking about when it's a mental disorder. We're just talking about regular states of people. So make sure you drink water. Make sure you're eating the right things and sleeping. You're getting your big O's, whichever way you do that, and you're getting exercise, these things. And then the last thing, number three, is writing down everything that bothers you. Literally sitting down and writing down everything that bothers you in a form of a list, whatever. You can turn on the camera like I am speaking to you now and brainstorm into the camera, voice recorder, whatever. Just say it all out loud. And then when you're in a good, normal state, go through the list of problems, see the real problems, and write different scenarios and solutions for them. After you write down everything, absolutely everything that bothers you, literally a list, you, in a good state, usually it helps when you already write it down, but when you're in a productive, creative state, you go through the list and you edit it. You will see what's a real problem and what isn't. So you leave all the real problems on your list. And then you do research. And out of your research, you will either have a solution or you will have a what if scenario. A what if scenario is, what if this happens, I will do this. And if this happens, I will do another thing. So you will know, like, usually I create a docs document and each problem is going to have a heading. And then I'm doing my research and I'm copy pasting the research into the body of that problem. And then most of the time when you do the research, it's going to give you A, B, C, D, F, G steps of how to do this. Other times it won't, because you don't know all the variables. Like if you don't get this job, what are you going to do? Or if you get into this career or the university, or like the salary type, like all the data that you're working with, you're not going to know. So those issues you can solve with the what if scenarios. So you do that. And for each scenario, you can put an option of visit later and put a deadline for yourself, like a week or a month. And a lot of the time, when a month passes by, the problem will disappear, or something will change, or you will have already solved it, or it will be easier to solve. Or at least what you do is all of those repetitive thoughts, you are tackling the problem already with the list, with the research and the what if scenarios. And you put the deadline, you're gonna be like, my brain is gonna be calculating all of this data that I put it through, and in a month things will make sense, maybe. So your brain will let go of this problem. It's when you have all this anxiety descend on you, it's because you have a lot of things going on and you cannot compartmentalize them and break the elephant into edible pieces. And it seems like this mountain of issues and problems you can never solve. So that's what writing down in this document does. I had this like meltdown because I had to do 57 different things. I had to do to gain a new citizenship for my child. I don't know how to enroll her into university. I don't know how to get legalization in Poland for her as a different citizen from me, because I'm a citizen of a different country. And it just literally descends on me. And then I write down A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I go and ask Google or ChatGPT, or I go get a legal consultation that is free, and I research it. And little by little, those things resolve themselves. So also, yeah, don't forget to leave that option, visit it later, or sometimes, so which means don't do anything now. And when you make any list, put that on the list, don't do anything. Because if you are tired and if you are in the opposite of the flow creative state, if you're in this rut and the only thing that comes to your mind is negative thoughts, you're not going to find solutions. Let it go. Don't do anything now. Get yourself some rest, and then you will come back later. So find your way to meditate the way you like. Don't listen to anyone, the way you like. Take care of your body by drinking water, eating food. Don't forget to do that, because there has been research when uh, guys in court, judges took the same crime, and depending on how much they ate and drank before the hearing, they would give absolutely different sentences to people for the same crime, because that's the way our brain works. They were dehydrated and hungry, they would give a bigger sentence. It's science. So if you're not taking care of that, you're going to have negative thoughts. And the last thing, write it down. It's true that writers are the most damaged and broken people, and they start writing because that saves them. It's really true. When you put stuff on paper, there is something magical happening in the process. So these are my 3 hacks. Let me know if they work for you, and please try them. It's the first of the month, or I don't know, tomorrow I'm going to post it the second of the month. It is a time that is perfect. Again, our brain works with the calendar. There's nothing we can do, but we can start a new page and hack our brain to be happy and stay happy using science.